Hello, Alexander Family YMCA and Poyner Family YMCA group fitness instructors. I'm Sherry Armour Samples. I'm the group fitness director at Alexander, and this is just a quick recap for anybody who was unable to attend the meeting last Monday where we got the chance to talk to some of the ladies from Carolina Public Health. It is really weird to see what I look like on video. I forget that it is really hard to see yourself and listen to yourself on video. Guys, this is what I really look like. Anywho, I just want to go through a really quick recap. If anybody is interested in learning a little bit more about what Carolina Pelvic Health can do for you or some of your members, especially our aging membership and some of our expecting membership, please feel free to shoot me an email and I'm happy to pass along their info. They offer like a ton of free consults. They do a lot of community talk, so if you're interested in having them, that's super cool as well. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to run down the agenda. Please email me with any questions you have, and email me to let me know that you saw this okay and that you kind of understand what's going on. So we try to meet at least 2 times a year so that we can get together and recap, talk about any changes, talk about uniform changes, talk about name tags, talk about procedural things. So really quickly, let's get through some of this stuff. And again, send me questions if you have them. First things first, 2 weekends ago, we hosted Greg Sims and the IFTA Group Fitness Convention, where we had a ton of continuing ed things. If you got a chance to attend, I would love to hear some of your feedback on how things went. This is something that we'd like to partner with IFTA again on, so if you're curious about any of that, please go ahead and email us and let us know that you're interested in this for 2019. 2 weeks ago, we also had our inaugural yoga teacher training. We had the first weekend of 9 for yoga teacher training. I'm going through the training as well as a few of our instructors, and the training so far has been incredible. Let me know if you have any questions about the training or if you're interested in contributing to the training in any way, and I'll do what I can. The next thing we talked about was our inclement weather policy. The reason why this came up was because a couple weeks ago we had some inclement weather with the storm. So in the event that we do have inclement weather, whether it be a hurricane, whether it be snow or ice or anything like that, if you are teaching the day following or during a weather event, you will hear from me via email, and then if you're teaching pretty immediately following an event, you will hear via a text as well. Typically, if there's no electricity, the building's closed. You can always call the weather hotline, but that gets kind of tricky because the weather hotline is not easily updated when we don't have power, if that makes sense. So the best bet is to keep checking your email and always check the app. We try to keep the app super updated. I don't want for you to find out things from the app, but sometimes that happens, especially if the power's out and your phone's gone dead. But then I don't know how you check the app. So, all right. So moving right along, let's talk a little bit about Group X Pro. Newer instructors, if you have questions about Group X Pro or for some reason Group X Pro was not reviewed in your onboarding, kind of when you met with me and Becky, please, please, please let me know that, because that is something that we should be hitting. In Group X Pro, you're going to be able to ask for subs for your classes. You're going to be able to pick up sub requests. So if someone needs a sub, you can go to that sub board and pick it up, as well as just kind of look at when there's studio space available. So if you want to suggest a class, or if you want to give a class up or add a class, you can do that via Group X Pro. If you have questions about Group X Pro, typically your login information is your email address, and the preset password is ProTeam. If you have any issues with any of that, or like I said, if you didn't get that gone over with me or Becky in the beginning, go ahead and let me know. We'd love to go over that with you. Okay. Make sure at the end of classes that you're logging your numbers. And if you happen to fudge a step, which I do all the time, I forget to log my numbers all the time, just go back and let me know so that I'm able to go back from the admin and enter your numbers. That's super important as we go into the new year. We're never just going to like slice and dice classes without an explanation or without warrant, but if you're feeling like you'd like to give up a class or you'd like another one because the numbers support it, this is always a really good way to support your argument. Not in a bad way, like argument in like a, You know what I mean? Kind of way. Okay. So 2 procedural things in addition to the Group X Pro thing. We're going to talk about what happens when you'd like to give up a class or when you'd like to add a class or pick a class up. So sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes Tuesday nights don't work for us anymore, right? Sometimes lunch doesn't work for us. In the event that you're going to have to give a class up, obviously let us know as far in advance as you possibly can. And we love it when you guys help us out. So if you teach a Vinyasa Flow Yoga and you know that Julie is a great Vinyasa Flow Yoga instructor, if you chat with Julie and you find out that Julie is able to step into your class, that is amazing, and we love that kind of help. And the only time we don't love that kind of help is when it's a Vinyasa Flow class you're giving up, and you say, hey, Matt Lilly can come and do a boot camp for us. That's not super helpful because we like to kind of stay consistent with the format. So yeah, kind of staying within the same format family is always super encouraged for that kind of thing. But like I said, we absolutely love it. If you can find someone that does exactly what you do to get in there, that'd be great. Now, if you'd like to add a class or pick a class up, what I suggest is emailing me, but also scheduling a time to meet with me for coffee. I've had a couple people do that. And, you know, while we can't promise anything or while we can't say like, yeah, we'll get your class on next weekend, we can always keep that in mind, and we can always look at adding a new class in January or February, or, you know, like the holidays are around the corner, so big changes are coming as far as the schedule. Not humongous, right? But we'll make some changes and we'll add and do series and things like that. So I always love suggestions. Please just ask me for coffee or send me an email or both. That's really great, and I'd be more than happy to try and accommodate you to the best of our abilities. So those are the procedural things. Batteries. I know we'd had a couple of concerns about batteries, especially in Studio 1, okay? So between Studio 1 and Studio 3, we're having issues with keeping batteries charged. Here's kind of what the deal is, and here's what we want to try to do. We have a rechargeable battery docking station in Studio 3, which is over here, and then Studio 1, so the cycling studio, and then the big studio where Zumba happens, right? So there are batteries in all the docking stations, and on each of the batteries, there's kind of a meter to show how charged a battery is. So after you teach a class, go ahead and take the battery that you've been using out, especially if you don't have a class after yours, and stick it in the dock. When your class is back to back, try and remember to grab a fresh battery for the person that comes after you when you end on time, right? And what we're trying to do is avoiding leaving the batteries in there for too long so that the next instructor doesn't get a dead battery. So that makes sense, right? So if that doesn't make sense, let me know. Docking stations, fresh battery as much as possible in that room, okay? Especially first timer, first thing in the morning folks, or last thing in the evening folks. Make sure that you're taking the battery out and taking a new battery and sticking it in there. CPR safety certifications, guys. A lot of you guys have gotten emails about our dates for safety certifications. We do have one coming up this weekend, which is not very full. Our people that are eligible for recertifications, you've already been reached out to, and I believe that date is October 27th. And then our following date for folks that needed to get a full class, for group fitness folks, I believe is I want to make sure that I tell you correctly, okay? I believe it's the 13th of October, okay? So that's specific to group fitness. If you cannot make the 6th or the 13th, what's going to happen is that you need to go to the Welcome Center and you need to sign up for your BLS class through the Welcome Center, okay? And if none of those dates work for you, you're always free to go ahead and check at the Cary Y or check at Findlay or check at whichever Y is closest to you if this is not your closest location. We really want to get everybody on track with CPR. We never, ever, ever want to have to use it, but things happen. We are a gym, and you know, we've all been in classes where we've had someone not eat, or, you know, they have a cardiac event or something, and we want to make sure that we are in compliance with our insurance companies and your insurance that you probably carry, right? So, with all that said, I talked a whole heck of a bunch. Just please let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email back. Let me know what you think could go on the walls of this room. We haven't decorated it yet, and I'm very curious about what you think. I'm thinking about changing this color. It's kind of like a green. It's been here for too long, changing it to a gray, keeping the cabinet, but going with a gray, kind of freshen things up. So let me know what you think. I so look forward to connecting with all of you, and I will chat with you soon. Okay, bye.